Gary, what did you make of the introductory press conference?
Well, he won the press conference. There's no question about that. I mean, you can understand what attracts people to Carlos Mendoza. He has an infectious personality, has a great positivity to him. He's obviously been working for this for a long time, and you can certainly get what he brings to the table. He's going to be an infectious personality in that clubhouse, and he knows the game. Mm-hmm. But he's never been a big league manager, and these are the questions that you ask going into, any first-time stint. But I thought it was very interesting that when he was asked about managerial influences, the first guy he mentioned was Rob Thompson, who very famously stepped in as a first-year manager and turned his team completely around. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, and you heard from David Stearns, and it's right. Everybody was a first-time manager once, right? The good ones and the bad ones. So we'll have to wait and see. But to that point, and that has been such a point that's been driven home since the announcement of the hire, how do you generally view first-time managers, especially in New York, in this organization, an organization that, yeah, maybe will take a slight step back going into next season, but ultimately still wants to win and still wants to win very soon?
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to take a step back from where they finished this year. In terms of spending, I don't think we even know that yet. But that aside, I think that you never know until a guy gets to his first crisis, right? I mean, it's great that Carlos has coached in New York for the last half dozen years and that he's been next to the manager, but he hasn't been the manager. And going through the twice-a-day press conferences and being in charge of all the things that come through a manager's plate, I think that you're not tested until you're tested, and this is what we don't know. I mean, we went through this with Mickey Callaway, and that didn't work out so well. I think that, Luis Rojas got an incomplete because of the circumstances that he was presented with. But their experience was different, and Carlos is a different person, and I don't think you know until he takes over the job and has his first hiccup how he's going to handle that and deal with the cauldron that New York can be.
All right, finally, Gary, priority number one after hiring David Stearns was to hire a manager. Now, what in your mind is the next priority for this team this offseason?
Well, they obviously have to concentrate on their pitching. I mean, obviously Yamamoto's got to be their number one priority, and if they can get him, that will certainly be the start to a great offseason. But I think also with a first-year manager, who the bench coach is going to be very, very important. And I would assume that you're trying to find somebody who has managerial experience, who has been through the thought process that it takes to make decisions quickly in the moment. That's the kind of person I would think that David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza would be looking for.